Welcome to Deep Thought. For those who overstand. You know, years ago, I used to roll with a crew on this particular message board, right? Bunch of deep and conscious brothers. And I mean, we used to get into it with other folks, you know, on deep matters, particularly religious matters. I mean, it was crazy. It felt good in a way to be around like-minded men, but on another level, it was crazy. Just, I mean, people going back and forth. I mean, people were finding people's addresses and ready. I mean, it was wild, man. But that aside, we used to have a saying that we used to say, because we would drop some knowledge on people, and they just were like, huh, what? And the saying was, for those who overstand, no explanation is necessary. For those who don't, none is possible. Now I've dropped some deep stuff on here. Not as deep as I could drop, but still drop some stuff. One of the things to understand is that everybody isn't going to get it. You know, everybody isn't going to get it. People can only get what they've been exposed to and what they're open to. And a lot of people, once they develop a certain belief system, they pretty much stick with it the rest of their lives. It's hard. Trust me, it's hard. It's significant when a person can break their false beliefs. That is one of the most powerful instances in the world. It really is. In fact, I'm going to talk about it in my next podcast. Right? I'm going to talk about it there. Because I had somebody close to me recently just break through like really about 40 years of bad programming. So, but one of the things when you get this knowledge, when you understand these things, when you get a new perspective, everybody ain't going to get it. Because one of the biggest things that happens is once you get knowledge of something, you want to run out and shout it to the world. I mean, you want to let everybody know. You get something, you know something new, you want to shout it out to the world. It's like you want to run and tell people. I remember back, I think, it was 92. 91. Well, I forgot. You know what? It might have even been 90. The first time I heard the term Illuminati and got really introduced to that whole, conspiracy culture and everything. I remember I was running around trying to tell everybody. I was like, hey, it's the Illuminati. It's the Illuminati. I remember I got this girlfriend at the time and, stuff would happen. We'd be like, the Illuminati. All right. And, of course, some people looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm looking at them like, what's wrong with you? And one of the things with that is, you get cocky, you get something, and you become overzealous. It's the same way. It's like when people join a church or, they get quote unquote saved. It's like they got to go out and read the Bible to everybody. Or you get some people, all of a sudden they become vegan and they have to go run out and, slap hot dogs out of people's hands and shit, right? It's like you just get overzealous. But then, with maturity, you change and you look back at it, you laugh. You understand everybody isn't going to have the same level of consciousness, right? Because you get to the point, you just you kind of look for clues with someone to see if they get it, to see if they understand. That symbol in the thumbnail, I always wear that. I got my purple shirt and my purple thermal. Some people know I love some thermals. And I have that symbol around my neck, the Gin Yami. It's a powerful symbol, the short term being except for God. I fear none. That's the short term. The long term is like deep. And it's a powerful symbol. It's a powerful Adinkra symbol from Ghana. And I remember I was wearing it when I was doing some vending, and I ran into this brother, real deep brother. And he saw me wearing the symbol, so he started talking on some deep subjects. And the reason he said once I saw that symbol, I knew I could go deep with you, which is true. You learn that, because one of the things you learn once you get knowledge, you learn it ain't for everybody. You can't run out and just share it with people. One thing is, you might have some knowledge that goes against someone's belief system. Once you have some knowledge that goes against someone's belief system, shoot, they gonna fight you tooth and nail. Understand, a person's belief system is what keeps them going. And you can literally, I've said this in a podcast before, you can literally kill somebody if you can effectively shatter their belief system. So a lot of times, I don't talk about some things. I don't take people's stuff, like, I don't talk about the origins of certain religions, necessarily. Now, if somebody bring it up, I might say it's something there, but I don't really get deep, because you just can't break it, you know? And usually enough, if somebody try to come at me with some stuff, I usually got enough to back them off, because they ain't going to get it. You have to understand that. You have to respect that. Because there's a lot of people, they get some of this knowledge and, they use it as a way to be over people. They use it as a status thing. Like, I know this and you don't. I found that a lot in, the quote unquote conscious community. You get in there and a lot of times you get in some battle of what you know or something, right? I remember I was somewhere, right? I had this dude. I said something, and he gave me a look. He started talking about COINTELPRO, right? That program that was ran by the FBI to disrupt, groups like the Black Panthers and also white radical groups, right? And he had a look on his face, yeah, I'm telling him something. And I stayed calm just because of where I was, but I was like, I was looking at him like, dude, that guy I could do a dissertation on all that stuff, and you think you telling me something. But, dude was at that place. I could tell that dude was at that place. He just learning some stuff. So I was just like, I've been there too, so I'm cool with it, right? But to get back to the whole point of the podcast, right? Understand, everybody's not going to know what you know. People, the reality is they might not have been exposed to it. You can't get mad at them. People can only be exposed to what they're exposed to. We don't have bookstores around. A lot of people, they can go, even with the internet, unless somebody is looking specifically for something, they might not run into any like deeper information. And then the reality is, if it's on the internet and it's easily found, it might not be the best information. There's a whole lot of info out there that's very surface. That's extremely surface. It's just some, not even by my standards, but just basic, right? Because some of the deeper stuff you'd be hard pressed to find. You got a lot of, I'm going to say many spiritual masters, people who got some deep knowledge, people who could probably cure major diseases, and they don't even have a webpage. Or they got some knowledge that's not easily passed around. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm just throwing a few things out there. There's some stuff I don't know about. Because one of the things is, once you start learning things, you start figuring out like what you don't know. And it would take a lifetime. I would need to win the lottery so I don't have to work it all and just spend pretty much 16 hours a day just learning stuff, reading stuff, studying stuff. Because everything, like I said, everything isn't written down. All the knowledge isn't there. Because it's so much. It is so much stuff. But to understand something, once to really get it, you have to understand, if you get it, there's only going to be certain other people who are going to get it too. Now, it doesn't mean you can't tell people and all of that, but then you have to be careful. You have to gauge them. That's why I've said on here, some people, I've thrown out some stuff. Some people say, hey, Rom, go deeper, or say this. That's why I always check first. I got to see who's riding, In fact, I remember this one time, right? This one of my mentors, he said he went to this event. He went to like this workshop, right? And there was a whole bunch of people there. And the guy presenting the workshop, he just threw out some just random stuff. He said most of the people left at the break. They had a break. Most of the people left. Once the people left, dude said, all right, here's the real deal. You know? But it's a real thing. Now, some people say, well, maybe you should start off good at first, but maybe they weren't ready for it. You know? And that's the thing to understand. When you get anything from me, from anybody, you learn something. You know, you don't be quick to just share it or whatever. Try to gauge somebody. Maybe throw out a few things, see how they respond. One of the things with me, like I said, I can look at a lot of symbols, how someone's dressed, how their energy and everything, get an idea of what I might be able to hit them with. Notice I say it might, because ultimately you never know. You know, people may wear something like even the Guinyami symbol, right? I met some people who were wearing it, had no idea what it meant. Which, as an aside, don't wear any symbols that you don't know what it means. Never. You know, that very symbol could be something that's against what your spirit wants. A lot of people do that. They wear stuff that they don't believe in. And those symbols are important. If you wear some, always know, like a crystal or something, always know what effect or what energy that crystal brings before you put it on you. Don't wear it. It's stupid to wear something because it's pretty. Always know the meaning of anything you put on you, you know, and what the energy is behind it, right? But understand one basic thing. When you get some knowledge, and then when you run into people, you don't have to explain much to them. You really don't. Y'all can have a good conversation. But also remember, you have that knowledge and you might not ever be able to. So don't get in the idea like, oh, they're lost and everything. They might not be ready. You know? That's why a lot of times you get some people on some powerful stuff. They won't tell somebody anything unless they feel like they're ready. You know, there's a lot of knowledge I have and people try to get out of me, and I'm just like, dude, you haven't shown me that you're ready to handle it. Because there was one bit of knowledge that I had, right? Had to do with relationships. And this young man, somebody else explained this particular thing to him, like told him, and I say, oh yeah, that's it. And yet, in fact, this happened a couple of times, right? And they would tell me, and I would say, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I don't like telling people. And they still doubted it. And I'm like, well, that's why I didn't tell you. Somebody else told you, explained it to you in a very good way, yet you still doubting it. Because no explanation is possible. You know, they weren't ready. Their belief systems wouldn't allow it. So remember that. Always remember that. Always remember who you're talking to, what they're ready to hear and what they're not ready to hear. And their actions will tell you, what they say will tell you. You know? So, anyway, for those who overstand, no explanation is necessary. For those who don't, none is possible. Peace and blessings. Keep rising and transforming.